Kim Jong-un, the enigmatic leader of North Korea, has always been a figure shrouded in mystery. Since his rise to power, much of the world has known him only through the lens of carefully crafted propaganda, portraying him as a strong, almost invincible leader. However, behind the scenes, a series of health concerns, rumors, and mounting internal crises have raised questions about his future, and more importantly, the future of North Korea itself. As rumors about Kim Jong-un's declining health circulate and the global attention on North Korea intensifies, it's clear that the situation within the isolated regime could be on the brink of chaos. Kim Jong-un's leadership has always been enigmatic. His every public appearance is highly orchestrated, designed to project strength and control. He is presented as the ultimate symbol of national unity and prosperity, a seemingly indomitable figure who holds the country together. But is this carefully curated image the full story? Behind the scenes, health concerns have been suppressed and very little is known about Kim Jong-un's actual condition. Most of the information that leaks out comes from foreign reports, defectors, or cryptic hints from insiders. For example, in 2020, Kim Jong-un disappeared from public view for several weeks, prompting widespread speculation about his health. When he finally reappeared, noticeably thinner and weaker, it raised suspicions about the seriousness of his condition. Most recently, Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, was overheard saying that her brother was in serious trouble, which further fueled speculations about his declining health. These recent developments, combined with the rising tensions on the global stage, have brought the world's attention back to North Korea, with many wondering what is really happening behind the walls of Pyongyang. North Korea, long known for its secrecy and lack of transparency, is a nation that often seems like a black hole of information. As we attempt to dig deeper into the current situation, it becomes increasingly clear that what is happening to Kim Jong-un is potentially disastrous, not just for the regime, but for global stability as well. Let's explore what might happen if Kim Jong-un's health continues to deteriorate. There has been persistent speculation about Kim Jong-un's health for years. His significant weight gain, combined with his known smoking and heavy drinking, points to serious health risks. These issues are compounded by the fact that Kim Jong-un comes from a family with a history of serious health problems. His father, Kim Jong-il, and his grandfather, Kim Il-sung, both faced significant health challenges during their leadership. Given this family history, many are concerned that history might be repeating itself. Ruling a country is a monumental challenge, but for Kim Jong-un, the real test could be whether he can maintain his grip on power long enough to ensure the survival of his regime. If his health continues to deteriorate, the stakes couldn't be higher. North Korea's regime is built on the Kim family dynasty, and the absence of a clear leader could lead to catastrophic consequences. A leadership vacuum could trigger internal instability, and the regime could fracture under the weight of multiple crises. The possibility of losing Kim Jong-un, the central figure holding the regime together, raises urgent questions. What would happen to North Korea if the country were to lose its leader? The political landscape in North Korea is already unstable, and a sudden change in leadership could set off a chain reaction of chaos. Would Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, assume control, or would the regime fracture under pressure? As tensions rise, these are questions that need to be addressed. The country is facing a multitude of internal crises that complicate any potential leadership transition. North Korea, already one of the most isolated and secretive nations in the world, is dealing with devastating floods, a struggling economy, crippling international sanctions, and the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Recent reports indicate that severe flooding has struck North Korea, destroying vast agricultural areas and putting millions of people at risk of food shortages. The country's economy, already fragile, has been in a state of decline for years. Experts attribute this to a combination of global sanctions imposed due to North Korea's nuclear weapons program and the nation's self-imposed isolation during the pandemic. These internal crises create a perfect storm of instability. The North Korean government is stretched thin, struggling to manage multiple crises at once. Amid this, rumors about Kim Jong-un's declining health continue to circulate. The critical question is, how might these internal challenges affect the future of the regime? Internal instability, coupled with the possible absence of a leader, could open the door for external powers, such as the United States, South Korea, or China, to step in and influence the political landscape. If Kim Jong-un becomes incapacitated, could these powers exploit a leadership vacuum in North Korea? The potential for external powers to become more involved in North Korean affairs is a serious concern. Kim Jong-un's health is not just a domestic issue, it's a global one. North Korea's nuclear arsenal, one of the most formidable in the world, adds significant complexity to the situation. If Kim were to lose his grip on power, the world could face a dangerously uncertain scenario. Without a clear succession plan in place, North Korea could spiral into chaos, triggering internal power struggles and creating a security vacuum that other nations might try to exploit. Countries like South Korea and the United States, which have been in a tense standoff with North Korea for decades, would likely be forced to reassess their military and diplomatic strategies. But it's not just the US and South Korea that are watching closely. China, North Korea's most significant trading partner and ally, has a vested interest in the stability of the region. Beijing has long feared the destabilization of its neighbor, as it could result in a surge of refugees crossing the border or even the collapse of the regime, issues that could be extremely difficult for China to manage. As one expert recently noted, the stakes are high. Kim Jong-un has not named a successor to lead the nuclear-armed nation. With tensions escalating between North Korea and both the US and South Korea, the lack of a clear successor raises the risk of instability, not just for North Korea, but for global stability as well. The nuclear threat is real, and the world is watching closely as Kim Jong-un's health continues to decline. The international community must brace for potential fallout as countries like the US, South Korea, and China consider their next steps. What might happen if the power shifts in ways no one expects? The future of North Korea depends largely on the leadership transition. If Kim Jong-un's health continues to decline, the world must consider who might step in to take over leadership. Kim Jong-un's daughter, Kim Ju-ae, has become a subject of widespread speculation. Believed to be around 13 years old, Kim Ju-ae made her first public appearance in 2022 during a North Korean missile launch event. Her increasing visibility at major state events, particularly military displays, has fueled rumors that her father may be preparing her to succeed him as the country's leader. The idea of Kim Ju-ae taking over leadership is fascinating, but it also raises many questions. North Korea's ruling family has long maintained a strict dynastic system, and the idea of a young woman taking the reins of a country known for its patriarchal structure seems radical. Yet, Kim Jong-un has not yet named an official successor, and the growing role of his daughter in state matters suggests that she could potentially assume the mantle of leadership in the future. While this is still speculative, it raises the question, could North Korea modernize its leadership structure by appointing a young woman as the country's leader? Or is this simply a continuation of the traditional dynastic rule? Could the rise of Kim Ju-ae signal a shift in the power dynamics of North Korea, or would it further entrench the Kim family's control? Another potential candidate for leadership is Kim Yo-jong, Kim Jong-un's younger sister. Since her brother assumed power in 2011, Kim Yo-jong has steadily risen in influence, holding key roles such as Deputy Director of the Workers' Party of Korea. She has played a central role in North Korea's political landscape and is considered by many to be a crucial figure in the regime's future. If Kim Jong-un's health continues to deteriorate, Kim Yo-jong could be the one to step into the leadership role. The question of succession in North Korea is one of the most closely watched issues in international politics. The future of the country and its nuclear arsenal could depend on who steps into Kim Jong-un's shoes. As the world waits and watches, it is clear that North Korea's leadership transition, whether it's Kim Ju-ae or Kim Yo-jong, will have profound implications for the regime, the region, and global security. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the world is holding its breath as the mystery surrounding Kim Jong-un's health and North Korea's future continues to unfold.